They're reporting that doctors, in a deposition, that RFK said doctors found a worm in his brain that had eaten part of his brain and then died there. I mean, you laugh, but I mean, what might this mean? I mean, what might this mean to an election, to hearing that he said this in a deposition?
It probably means, and one of the things that I tell my clients all the time is try not to go into depositions high. That's usually what I would suggest, and that would be my words of wisdom. I have political issues with RFK, but this is just a little bit beyond my pale of expertise.
I mean, if that's true, if a worm ate his brain, which is mind-blowing on so many levels. I mean, everybody's talking about the cognitive, capabilities of Biden, the cognitive capabilities of Donald Trump.
How did the worm get there? I just have a lot of questions.
Right. I mean, that's one of those times where, as a comms person, you kind of deflect and say, "How about them Rangers?" I mean, you just deflect.
Come on, man. RFK Jr. found a dead worm in his brain. It ate part of it, then died. The jokes write themselves.
Operating off of a deposition given by Robert F. Kennedy Jr. some years ago, relaying how that in 2010, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. experienced memory loss and mental fogginess so severe that people thought he might be sick. He went in for scans. They found a dark spot on the brain, and the belief is, Mr. Kennedy says anyway, that there's a dead parasite in his brain. Meaning, I quote from Robert F. Kennedy Jr. here, the abnormality, quote, was caused by a worm that got into my brain and ate a portion of it and then died. So Robert F. Kennedy Jr. suggesting that a worm ate some of his brain and then died while there. We'll have more on this developing story.
What in the world?
This happens. Usually, Willie, this happens with livestock, right? But this is something that
I mean,
you know what? There you go. He should have had some of that stuff. That may have helped him, right, Willie?
Was ivermectin?
The ivermectin.
Oh.
We finally have an answer as to why RFK Jr. comes up with these intricate conspiracies that's gained him enough support to be considered a spoiler of a presidential candidate. Good thing he's relatively okay, or all these jokes would be met with shameful pushback. But things are starting to make a lot more sense.
Technology that we now have to develop these microbes, we've put hundreds of millions of dollars into ethnically targeted microbes. The Chinese have done the same thing. In fact, COVID-19, there's an argument that it is ethnically targeted. COVID-19 attacks certain races disproportionately. The races that are most immune to COVID-19 are because of the structure of the genetic structure, genetic differentials among different races of the receptors of the ACE2 receptor. COVID-19 is targeted to attack Caucasians and black people. The people who are most immune are Ashkenazi Jews and Chinese. But we don't know whether it was deliberately targeted that or not.
It is starting to make more sense, even though his explanation doesn't. There's always a lot of people say or some point out type of qualifier that never really identifies who the expert level people are that are feeding these ideas to extreme conspiracy theorists. COVID was a perfect playground for RFK to launch from one randomly definitive conclusion to the next, picking up believers from all political leanings that are rightfully looking for some answers, but don't really know where to uncover them. It's only making both Democrats and Republicans panic over him being a spoiler in the upcoming election. And now everyone's distancing themselves. I guess he's a true independent thinker, just not in the political sense.
They love their brother. They have been through so much together as a family. They have always stuck together. But the brothers and sisters of RFK Jr. know their brother best. And they know he should never be president. RFK Jr. believes even the polio vaccine is unsafe.
There's no vaccine that is, safe and effective.
Once a longtime heroin addict, RFK Jr. has crazy right-wing conspiracy ideas. He's not a serious candidate, but he's a dangerous candidate, because a vote for RFK Jr. is a vote for Donald Trump. That's why even those who love him like a brother are all supporting President Biden.
The best way forward for America is to re-elect Joe Biden. That's right, the Kennedy family endorses Joe Biden for president.
Did you know RFK Jr. endorsed Hillary Clinton in 3 elections? And did you know he said Obama would be a great president? So here's the truth, folks. RFK Jr. is a longtime Democrat and a liberal. He wants high taxes, reparations, and he's for gun control. He even called the NRA a terror group. Talk about tweets that didn't age well. Here's the craziest part. Have you seen how RFK talks about Republicans? He thinks we're murderers. So don't be fooled. RFK Jr. is a radical leftist and loves the liberal policies destroying this country.